all my reptile junkies, and I guess fish junkies too, as from the title of the video, is a saltwater unboxing.
We hadn't had that in a while.
No, I haven't really done anything with the fish in a while. I've been neglecting them, and people have asked about it, you know, out there. So guys, here's an update on the pond at least.
Not neglecting them health-wise. We may need to specify that.
Yeah,
because
right.
we don't want to get any hate, but neglecting to video them. How about that?
But I was up in Atlanta today working, and there's a place there. It's actually called The Fish Store, and it's a really awesome fish store. The horn shark came from there. The other ray come from there. A couple other things. Really awesome. They have some really cool stuff that you just can't really find in a lot of places. Well, like I said, I was working up there, and I was right by it, so I couldn't resist to stop in there. And of course, I came home with some critters. That was a gliding frog that time.
I was going to say, I hear frogs somewhere.
Every video.
I'm not sure which direction it came from.
Yeah, it's that time of year, guys. You know, they're starting to do their thing. Maybe we'll have some tadpoles. Anyway.
There it was again.
I picked up a spotted moray eel and a Cortez stingray today to add into the saltwater pond. Yeah, going out over there.
I'll let y'all look at this while he's
I'm
opening the bag. That's not very...
interesting.
Yeah, probably not.
Well,
once it's open, it will be.
Guys, you know, if you followed me a while in the pond, I had 3 rays in here at one time. I had a male ray that he badgered the 2 female rays constant. I mean, it was constant to where the fact that one of the rays got really stressed, started losing weight, ended up had to get rid of the male, and I ended up losing a female, and then that other female is coming back pretty good. She's still a little bit on the, I call it scrawny side. And some of that too, I contribute to that electricity we had going through there, but she's doing really good. As you can see, the sharks are doing really awesome.
These guys know it's feeding time in just a little bit.
Yeah, look at that lionfish. Yeah, go on, throw them spines up. It's amazing how much he's grown too, because he was like that big.
Yeah, really small. Alright, what we got here?
Alright, we have a spotted moray eel. These guys come from the Caribbean.
Oh, so cool.
Beautiful, beautiful eel.
You can video him.
They're found from shallow reefs down to 600 feet of water. They can get to be upwards of 6 foot, guys. I mean, it's going to be a giant eel. And I learned some other things, too, while I was in there, and we'll get to that. I can't wait. He had a really big one, but just look at that. It also can be other names other than the spotted moray. It could be the white lip moray, or there's another. There's quite a few. You just look it up, you'll see there's a bunch of other names for it. I've never had an eel. We've wanted one several years. We had a snowflake eel for a while that was in the inside tank, and I found it on the floor. It was like
they are an escape artist.
It was like beef jerky. This one I'm gonna do some changes to. We'll come back to that. I'm gonna let these guys acclimate. And while we're talking about that, this other one here, I'll get them acclimating. Now guys, if you get into this kind of thing, most of y'all know, I mean, you just cannot float the bags like you would in a freshwater and then dump these fish in. You have to drip acclimate them. And you know, like I said, I wasn't anticipating stopping by there today and bringing anything home, so I'm gonna have a late night tonight, and I gotta work again tomorrow acclimating these fish, because it's gonna probably take a good three and a half hours before I get the parameters in these bags to those parameters over there, you know, in the pond. And that's probably the single most important thing when you're adding fish in, is letting a good acclimation time.
Getting a lionfish, he follows everywhere you go.
And during that time while it's dripping, I will take a cup and come back and forth and dip water up to, you know, keep the oxygen content up in the water. Is very important too. But yeah, 2 to 3 hours is what I will be acclimating these guys at. Here is the Cortez ray. I got it open now. as the name implies, Cortez, like Cortez, Mexico, these guys are found, you know, around Mexico, shallow water, marshes, you know, just the coastal bays. Full grown, 15 to 17 inches round from the disc. That's without the tail. It's going to be a pretty good sized ray. The other ray in there is a California round ray. They're going to stay about equivalent in size, and they'll get along just fine. But
they look very similar.
They do. So. They really do. The spot. So this one's kind of stressed right now. You know, of course, being shipping, you can look at the coloration, especially around the edges of the fins. By the time we get her acclimated and get it in here and come back with another video, you'll see the difference. It's a really light, like marbled colored ray. When it was in their tank, beautiful. Same thing with the eel. His color will really start to pop once we get him in here. But guys, I'm going to start acclimating, and when I get them done, we'll come back and talk about some other things on the saltwater pond. Something interesting that I had a good conversation with one of the guys at the fish store today, and I'll go into that with y'all. And I guess just stay tuned. We'll go through the boring part, and we'll see it's something fun. Stay tuned, guys. So I was bored. April's in there cooking something, and the fish are still acclimating, of course. Look at that guy, man. He is P.O.'d, man. Watch him. He's trying to bite the camera. Man, he is not happy. They instantly show that mouth and a threat. And I wouldn't be happy either, buddy, but you're going to be happy, I promise. Beautiful. Man, he's awesome. That guy's still doing good. Now, guys, I'm acclimating, and I moved some rock around so you can see everything's kind of stirred up right now. I got some water mixing. I'm going to do a partial water change since I've got all this kind of dirtied up. But what I'm trying to accomplish here, and I was thinking about it, I really didn't go over it in the first part of the video, and I'm gonna kind of do this. I'm gonna kind of do this in segments, I guess, and just kind of come back and forth. Figured that'd be fun instead of just leaving y'all hanging and they're done. But still acclimating. So what I'm actually gonna do, guys, first thing I'm trying to hit is I am trying to get the same temperature, of course. That's one item I'm trying to get. The next item, and you can get a refractor, or you can, I used a little the little Instant Ocean one I use for you know, mixing my salt and stuff. It works fine. It's just a regular float type. It's out there. But salinity and of course pH. Now I don't really you know, you should always check your nitrates, your ammonia levels, of course. All that I know is good. I just checked it over the weekend in this system, so I'm not even gonna worry about that. Three main things I'm worried about when acclimating new fish to my system is going to be temperature, make sure they're coefficient, and salinity, and of course pH. If your pH is off, which saltwater pH should always be about 8.3, 8.2, 8.3, 8.4 range, right in there. But 8.3 is ideal. If the pH is screwed up, kind of like freshwater, I guess that would be, or should be, more of an issue if you're keeping on top of your pH. But a fish can actually go into shock from too big of a pH jump. You know, it's either too alkalinic or too acidic, and that can be really bad. So I do check those, but of course the pH, I've done checked it. Their pH and my pH was pretty much exact. I got the exact color, same color blue. Right now I'm trying to get the salinity right and the temperature and just give them time to kind of set in. But their salinity was as of natural seawater, which is 1.026 is specific gravity. I run this pond at 122 to 123. That does a couple of things. The little bit lower pH allows the animals in here, it's a little easier for them to breathe in that condition. They don't have to osmotize the water as much salt from the water at that point. Now your reef, you got to keep it at you know, 2.5, 2.6. And some stuff you have to keep it at 2.6. But the other thing is, if I'm going away somewhere and I'm not here for a while, because I have to add about a half a gallon a day is what I add in this system. And of course, with all the reptile stuff, the heat and everything is constantly losing humidity, or through humidity. But yeah, I try to maintain that 2.2, 2.3 mark. It's worked out great on these guys. And I need to feed them, but I'm not going to feed them just yet. I'm going to feed them as I'm introducing these guys, so they'll have their mind on something else. I redid a lot of that rock, and say I'm just kind of really letting it clear out good. Redone the rock just to kind of give him someplace else to hide. But well, I'm gonna go back to doing some other stuff, and I'll be back with you when I got something else cool to show you. Stay tuned, guys. See if he opens his mouth. Oh yeah, man, he is not happy. 11:18, almost time. Should I go back? I'm gonna throw a clip in there of that. It was like 10:30. What I've been doing, guys, is I come back and forth. I take my cup. Oh, he's a mean one. That'll be good. He'll survive fine in here. And I just dip a little bit, throw it in there, back and forth. I'm not scared to put their water in my water. I'll tell you, I'm a firm believer, and that's why I grabbed the camera. I'm a firm believer in bacteria, good bacterias. Our bacteria as humans, and I'm gonna try to get this right, not sound ignorant on it, but our bacteria is like a fingerprint. Everybody has different bacterial makeup. And I believe that's a big thing with these saltwater aquariums. It is bacteria, your bacteria fingerprint. And I'll be honest, anytime I can introduce some water from what I know is a quality source, I feel like I'm going to gain some of those bacteria. That bacteria fingerprint's going to go, onto my fish. And I do believe that's a big deal. And that kind of gets into what I was going to talk about. Starting to clear up. I know you're hungry. I'm going to feed you. That horn shark is awesome. He is so smart, and they're smart. But what that gets into, and then we'll go into letting these guys go into their new home. Me and the guy at the pet store, we were talking about carbon dosing, and it's something I've researched some. Essentially, what carbon dosing breaks down to being, and there's a plethora of information on the internet on it, guys. It's something I've never really played with, but basically what you're doing is you're fueling that bacteria. And back to bacteria being the drive all through the whole cycle, the nitrogen cycle of a saltwater aquarium. But some people they use vodka. There's several different ways of carbon dosing, and like I say, you're just fueling that bacteria, making it grow, but you still need places for it to colonize. That's where, like your live rock, and like I saw in the sump, the live rock in there, that's basically just places for that bacteria to colonize to. And I clean around the edges most of the time. I've been neglecting on that side. You can see I've been lazy, but I don't clean much further than that, because this is a real porous, this cattle trough I'm using, and those bacteria, they can colonize in any kind of porous structure that's getting good water flow. Good water flow is important. That's really what water flow is to me all about. Of course, keeping the water turned up and such, but it really to wash over them rocks, and to really to keep good oxygen going to that bacteria so it can do its deal and keep all the bad stuff out of your water. But I'm going to look into this vinegar dosing, and that's what they're using. The most expensivest part about running something like this is and I've got the water kind of ginning. I'm going to turn that down whenever we let them go, but and I got off track thinking about You turn the water down. That's funny. It's adult ADD, guys. Anyway, back to the vinegar dosing. We had discussed it at the shop, and the most expensivest part is the salt. You know, when I'm doing a water change. And a bucket of salt, I keep the gravity, like I said, about 122. So a bucket of salt will do me about 200 gallons of a water change. And that cost me anywhere from 45 bucks when I catch it on sale. I use exclusively Instant Ocean, which I had a good buddy of mine give me a bucket of Red Sea. I might mix it in there and use it some, but I use Instant Ocean pretty much exclusively in here. But salt is the most expensivest part. Well, with that carbon dosing at that fish store, they have been able to cut down their water changes from 1,500 gallons a week to around 5 to the 600 gallon mark. And I'm telling you guys, that fish store, that's a nice place. It's a big place. They've got corals and just rows and rows of fish, different oddities and stuff. If you're ever in the Atlanta, Georgia area, check it out. It's on Chamblee Tucker Road right there in Chamblee, Georgia, which is one of the suburbs on the outskirts of Atlanta. Real knowledgeable folks in there. So if any of you out there have messed with any of that, you know, any kind of carbon dosing, leave me some links below or some stuff I can check out, because I'm gonna be doing some research. And for any of y'all that, you know, deal with any kind of salt water, if y'all play with it any, just let me know what y'all found out. I'd appreciate it, guys. You know, that's one of the great things about this YouTube is being able to feed off each other. And you know, when you're exploring something new, it's a trial and error thing a lot of times, and you are really starting to calm down. That's the little, what I'm assuming is the male, because the other ones you never see is doubled in its size, but he's starting to chill out. He's still like, oh, I'm gonna go, you're messing with me, I'm trying to sun. Anyway, but yeah, guys, if y'all have messed with it, just, you know, let me know, give me some ideas. And I'm about to go get April to help me. Yeah, look at that. You mad, ain't you? I know, buddy. You're about to go into a new home, and so are you. Doing good. All right, guys, stay tuned. Last one. That's funny. Something else I thought about, and I'll talk about it in a minute. And we're dumping these because I don't want to take up too much of you guys' time, but is copper. So I wrote my future self a note for in about 15 minutes, so when I come back to dump these fish, I don't forget to tell you guys about that. Stay tuned, guys. All right, we're ready to let them go. And like I said, real quick before I forget, I wrote my future self a note, as I showed you on that other clip, about copper. Now what I was saying about, I'm not worried about dumping this water into the system. Another big thing, guys, with sharks and stingrays is they cannot tolerate any amount of copper. It is the death of them. Now, like I said, I know both of these guys come from the same system. No copper in there.
The plants here all kind of strung and straight.
But I noticed, I thought about it after I filmed that little clip. I know I didn't cover that with you guys about
they're ready.
when I was talking about adding the water right in, because you know I like the idea of a little bacteria from different places. But as long as you know it is copper free, because some fish stores add copper to cut down on such stuff like ick and, you know, things that are naturally in the system. If the fish aren't stressed, they're not going to get it. When they get stressed, they'll get ick, stuff like that. But all right, let's let the stingray go first.
Let's get to it. Hopefully everybody does well. It's always scary with saltwater fish, isn't it?
It is. It's always scary.
Doesn't matter how good you think you are at it. It's always a scary thing.
Because you don't know what's going to happen.
Saltwater is so touch and go. They're so sensitive to everything.
There's one. That's a pretty ray.
There's that one.
Everybody's
There's
that
one.
Oh, man. Awesome. Awesome stuff. There's the
Hopefully they'd be much happier in here
than
than
the Cortez ray,
a
guys.
regular tank.
I sure hope y'all got enough light. I'm gonna try to get you some. I'm gonna try to throw some underwater clips in at the end for y'all once I get them in here. Man, yeah, they're about identical size. Should do fine. I wasn't getting another male. There's no way.
No, not good.
No, if you're gonna keep stingrays, I mean, maybe if I get a bigger, once I go to a bigger trough or something, I might get another male. But in this trough, the male, they just cannot get away from a male. So I'm going to only, and males, they're real easy to tell on stingrays. The males have some rear trailers coming off their tail. And the streamers, some people call them, but that's a real simple way to tell. But there's the Cortez ray. All right, let's get the, let me grab this.
Adjusting well.
And I've got the current turned down so y'all can see.
Why you do that?
Nobody ever gets to see the little hermits.
Yeah, they're out. We caught those in Florida.
I wish I could go underwater for you guys, but
I'll get you some underwater clips, guys. And it
Look
looks
at the
totally, it should look totally different.
oh, the lionfish is like looking at me. Seriously, he's following the camera.
I rebuilt this whole middle section to try to keep the eel here. Easier for us to feed it, direct feed it, and you know, eels have a tendency to want to climb. So I lowered the water level just a little bit. And I also, of course, the netting, but there should be no reason for this eel to go to the outside edges of this.
And we'll see how this works.
We're gonna put him in. I'm gonna put him right to the rock. And if he wants to come out and see us, that's great. If not,
Should
then
be
let him
really
be.
cool.
I'm gonna go right to that rock. Going into that rock.
Right,
See
move the
there?
bug. So you can see.
Alright.
There he is.
See what he does.
Yep. And he's finding a hidey hole.
Yeah, I'm finding me a hidey hole. Really awesome. That's good stuff. You go right into there and he should stay.
Yeah, immediately. He's just like, where's the closest shelter?
There, let me turn these down a little bit more.
And he's about gone.
Oh, digging. Oh, we just covered the ray.
That's funny.
Dang. I can see him, part of him. There's a tail there. He'll figure it out there.
There's the tail.
He covered up that ray. Which is cool. Let him settle in. Here it comes. Like, really? Really good stuff. I think he's gonna do fine. Once he figures out where he's at, he'll get inside that pipe or something.
Crab.
And like I say, I'm gonna get some underwater shots. I'm gonna throw some more light.
In the water.
Try to add some more light.
Very cool.
A little more light. Slither on in. I think they're gonna do awesome.
We'll see. Only time will tell.
Yeah.
Well, we've got the other female ray.
Yep. Checking them out
Oh,
now.
they're looking at each other. They're kind
Checking each other out. Somebody new.
of seeing what's going on.
You can tell somebody's new to the enclosure.
It looks
Look.
like she's kind of liking that there.
Yeah, they're like checking each other out.
Follow the leader going on here.
Really good stuff. Just want to see the eel stick his head out from somewhere. I see him kind of.
And we can still see his tail a little bit. He's trying to figure out what's what in there.
He'll pop out somewhere in there.
Decide what his best
That's
option is
good.
here.
That's what I was hoping for. He has nowhere else to go. He should stay right there.
Well,
Really good.
we'll have to do an update soon. Oh, there's so much stuff behind me.
Yeah, boxes. Sorry, baby.
I'm
It's a
gonna fall.
wreck. Well, guys, I'm gonna get all this stuff pinned back down. It's kind of, like I said, an impromptu unboxing today. I was up in Atlanta. Cool stuff. Ain't done an update on the saltwater pond. Y'all can tell it's doing really good. Added a few more livestock. I mean, couldn't help myself, guys. I'm pumped. As I said, I'm gonna let them settle in. I'll try to get y'all some underwater clips of them. You know, throw the case on or whatever. That's all I got for tonight. I am tired. It's 12. I've been on the road all day. Another day tomorrow. I'm gonna finish this up.
It's actually after 12.
It is after 12.
Who's counting?
It's counting. Yes, that's right. That's the story of my life. You know, it's like go, 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 go. But I went down
and guys, we haven't eaten yet. I'm starving.
and I told you earlier when I started this,
Uh-huh.
April was cooking.
Yeah.
Now she did, and she was coming back
I
and forth.
waited and waited
She's
and
like, "You ready to
waited.
eat yet?" And I
and
was
waited.
like, "Hold on." Just doing water checks. You know, cleaning bowls in here.
This
and
is
just
kind of how our life goes. People
it's
say
hectic.
dinner on the table at 5.
Doesn't
For us,
happen around the
sometimes
Beck
it's
household.
dinner at 12.
It is.
Yeah.
And, you know, and I wouldn't have it any other way, guys. You know, I don't want to sound condescending like this is another job, because it is my release from work. I deal with some bad stuff on a day-to-day basis sometimes, and I don't mean bad in a bad, like, rough, bad stuff, but I deal with a lot of people that are in some bad spots out there, guys. And, you know, we really don't realize, especially right here at the holidays, too, how blessed we are.
Absolutely.
Just to be able to get up and get around. And if I didn't have these animals to kind of come home to, other than, you know, April and the kids, and kind of throw some of that in, or release some of that energy, I'd probably be medicated. I've said that before. And some days I just have a rough day, and instead of taking it out on them, I can come out here and just kind of wind down. It's my chill spot, you know.
And definitely this holiday season, you guys be grateful for family.
And grateful for what you have, guys.
That's right.
I'm telling you, a buddy of mine I grew up with, he just lost his wife. Just, you know, unspoken prayer request, keep them in your prayers, guys. Right here, 4 kids. Couldn't imagine.
This close to the holidays, it's a tragic thing.
Anyway, on a happier, positive note, hope
10
you enjoyed
days
it.
to Christmas.
10 days.
10,
10
11, 9. I don't know.
Oh my
It's
God.
too close for me. I'm still shopping.
I don't even want to think about Christmas. Whew. Well, this was kind of an early Christmas present to me in April, and the kids, they enjoy it too. So, more so me, I admit. You know, I stopped by
Yeah,
the fish
this
store.
was Trey's early Christmas present.
I
don't
told
know, I'm kind
April
of
I
liking
was,
the eel there.
I'm right here by the fish store in Atlanta. She was like,
Yeah.
"Watch
How
what
much
you
are you going to spend? Well, I have had $400, $500, $600. The horn shark. Yeah,
Yeah,
he
the
was a
horn shark.
pricey buy.
Pricey
So,
buy.
yeah.
Yeah, horn
know.
sharks are pricey if you can find them. He's got some, real quick too, and I'll let y'all go. He's got some dwarf nurse sharks. They're the only ones in the country. They're full grown. He's had them for a while. They're about
Next
yay
time
big.
you're taking the camera.
I hated I left the camera because he had this horn
The potato
sharks.
grouper, that was
That
another
was the
one.
other epic. Which
Yeah.
that fish is actually, he can't do anything with it unless an aquarium gets it or somebody with a big. But that potato grouper is that big.
We promise next time
Woo,
he
it
will
was
take
nuts.
the
He come-
camera.
and he's in like a 1,000-gallon one of these. You see where I'm going with that?
He will take the camera next time. So sorry.
So much stuff that place has going on. Check out the fish store in Atlanta, guys. If you're ever in Atlanta, Georgia, like I said before, I'll give them a plug. Awesome staff, smart about what they do, knowledgeable about, just everything. Learned some good tips. My fish have done awesome. They made the trip from Atlanta, which sucked with the traffic. One more
Yes.
time. Guys,
2 hours late getting home. That's why we're so late doing everything. Eating.
still kind of cloudy from where I started.
Don't move to Atlanta. It's awful, people.
Guys, stay safe. Be nice to one another. You never know what somebody's going through out there in this world. Can't stress that enough anymore. So no matter how your day's going, try to think about that. The dude that just cut you off, and I'm notorious for that.
Oh my God.
The dude just cut you off, though. Who knows what's going on in his
I'm
life.
that constant reminder.
It's
You
not gonna
never
matter.
know what's going on.
And it's not going to matter at the end of the day.
That's
'cause
right.
You're here, they're
5
there.
extra minutes, 10 extra
Doesn't matter.
minutes.
Stay cool, stay safe. Catch you next time, guys.